Hello, hello. Welcome to Not So Small Talk, the podcast. My name is Destinee.
And my name's Julia. Thanks for joining us today. We're super excited to get this podcast started.
I can't believe we're actually doing this. I'm super excited. This is our first episode ever. We are just two friends bringing you real conversations, big talk, small talk, everything in between.
Yeah, we wanted to come and just share a lot of things that are on our hearts, our minds, what's going on in the world, as two really good lifelong friends, and just bring it into like not a big deal. We're just
chatting.
Yeah.
We're just yapping. That's all it is. So thank you for being here. Episode 1. Where do we start? How are we here? How did we get started? Why are we doing this podcast? Give the people some background.
Well, I feel like we've been talking a long time about just like things that we enjoy, how we like to interact with other people, and you kind of brought it up. You're like, I really want to do a podcast. I've had podcasts, a little bit of experience in the past, but it's something I've kind of shied away from, like doing on my own. And so when you brought it up, I was like, this feels like an amazing fit. Like, this is something we need to do together.
No, I completely agree. And it's honestly been a long time coming. There's just conversations that we have, and after we have them, I literally say to myself, I say to other people need to hear that.
Yeah.
And not in like a we love ourselves kind of way, but in a we love other people kind of way. And I think that sometimes people need to hear that.
Yeah, and I think we just have a really good pulse on where each other are coming from, and it just makes some of these tougher topics or conversations just really easy, and that feels really good. And I think other people might enjoy it. So I hope you
We'll hope. We hope. We'll see. I also think we come from two. People would look at us and just think like we have two completely different perspectives. We come from different worlds.
Yeah.
And I think on some things we inherently do.
Yeah.
But also I think we're a great demonstration of how you can be completely different people, look different, and still share a lot of things.
Yeah.
And share a great friendship. So,
and there's certain things we might not agree on, but I think
exactly
we can disagree but still love each other, and that's something that you can't always find. So I'm excited.
Let's hope after some disagreement we still love each other. So let's jump in. Let's give a little bit of background, who we are, what we do, and how we're here. Like, where are you in life right now?
Yeah, I would say I am doing a lot of different things with life right now. I'm married. I've been married for 5 years. I live in Denver, Colorado.
Love it.
Love the outdoors. Love hiking, camping. I have a almost 10-month-old baby.
I can't believe that.
Which feels unreal. She's super, super cute. And I'm kind of hopping around between jobs. After having the baby, I wanted something part-time. So right now I'm working as a medical assistant, which I do really enjoy. Just been having a lot of talks with Destinee about what I want to do with my life when I grow up, per se. And so yeah, just figuring out different passions, and been praying about that a lot, and just enjoying time with friends, time outside, and getting to travel to come visit Destinee. It's been super fun.
I'm so glad that you're here, by the way. So I guess I'm kind of in an interesting part. And like where am I? What am I doing? I don't know. So did you say your age?
I'm 27. Okay. It's always hard to remember.
There we go. I am 24. I'm about to be 25, and
such a baby.
I think a month from today, actually. Is today the 21st? Yeah.
Yeah, in a month.
A month from today, I will be 25. I have been married for 2 years now, a little bit over 2 years. I am an attorney, and I recently launched my own firm.
Yes, you did. Check her
out. That is somewhat new still, I'd say.
Yeah,
so
super exciting.
Yeah. We live in Florida, so this is rare that we are sharing a couch right now, but we had to capitalize on the opportunity. Yeah. So that's kind of where I am in life. And there was gonna be no good time for us to do this. It's just gonna get harder and busier. Yeah. So I'm glad that we're doing it now.
Yes.
And we wanted to give you guys a little bit of backstory of like how we met, how we know each other, and how we've kind of stayed friends over all these years. You want to start?
My first memory of you was...
I didn't know you were going to say that. No, but I want to know. I'm interested.
We played volleyball together in high school. We went to the same small high school growing up. And our volleyball team was like, oh, there's 2 new girls. they're coming in. They're gonna take our spots on the volleyball.
Take spots? Wait, why did I not know this? Oh my
I
gosh.
was
Okay.
sweating a little bit. I was
Okay.
like, oh, she's gonna be so good. And then they came to like our volleyball night. Like you and your sister came to our volleyball night, and
And we were trash. We didn't take anybody's spot.
you didn't take my spot. I'm just kidding. And I just remember I was like, oh, she's really cool. Like I hope we can be friends. She's 2 years younger than me. I don't know.
We'll see.
I thought she was really cool, and I feel like we just kind of volleyball was definitely at the beginning of our relationship, but then we started hanging out more and more and more and more.
Okay, that's how I remember it too. All right, it's valid. My first memory of you is the same exact interaction. Like, you know, new school, volleyball. I just remember being like, oh, that girl, she can play volleyball. And honestly, I feel like everyone's always intimidated by you in the beginning.
I'm tall.
Because of your height.
Very tall people.
And I do think people are intimidated by me because I just have really bad RBF. Yeah. I really don't try, but it's always been a thing. So I feel like maybe there was like, will we be friends? Will we not? Like internally, but it just happened so naturally that we became friends. And then we kind of just stayed friends throughout college. Is interesting to me is that you graduated high school and we still stayed friends. Like I feel like that's hard.
Yeah, especially when you're younger, like when you're not doing the same thing.
Right, we were in like different phases, and we stayed friends throughout that 2 years somehow. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. And then went to college. You were in Iowa. I was in Tallahassee. Yeah. And we still stayed friends. I know. Like, what? That's kind of wild to me. That leads us to a very good point, and where we, I think, should start talking. Okay.
Let's jump right into friendship.
Yeah, something that's obviously important to us, and a great starting point is just friendship, and what friendship means to us, how you can maintain good friendship, and just like
in life stages.
Yeah, like how do you stay connected with people so like such far distance from you, and just there's a lot of drama going on right now, social media wise, between like friends who give a lot of effort, friends who don't. Like let's get into all of it. Okay. So where should we start? Like how have you maintained? I guess how have we maintained our friendship?
We brought up a good point when we were talking about this earlier. Just like what's the balance of like putting in the work of keeping a friendship alive, but also that a friendship is like it's just gonna be there, kind of no matter what. Like. You don't want to be the friend who like never checks in and then just expect you to be like as tight as ever, but also life gets busy, life gets in the way. So like what's a good balance? Like I feel like we've had a really good balance for us, and it might be different for other people, but I think just like being intentional, knowing I want to stay up to date with your life and thinking about you and praying for you and all these different things like are ways that I know I keep you in my life. Yeah, life gets busy, so it can be hard sometimes.
I think it takes a whole lot of understanding from both parties.
A lot of grace.
Which I want to tap into a little bit in a second, but I do want to say that you brought up a good point. I think friendships take effort, and you can work at it, but I do think there are some friendships that literally just aren't meant to be. Like no matter how hard you try, I love that person, but we are just going to love each other from a distance for the rest of our lives, because there's just, you kind of do have to prioritize people. Like you just do. Like everybody does have that person for themselves, and you're just not going to be that for everybody. And so I do think friendship is half effort and half like it's just meant to be or it's not. And we can love you like from a distance, and still care about someone, but just not be active in their everyday life. And I feel like that's okay.
Yeah. Which I feel like is sometimes different. Like, I feel like there's lifelong friends and then there's like new friends, and you're still trying to like feel that out.
Exactly.
Like, are we gonna be like an easy friendship? Meant to be or whatever, but. Yeah, I feel like especially with friends that you've had for a long time, it's either a fit or it's not.
Exactly.
Which.
It's hard. Sad, like it's not, no, it actually is really sad when you realize someone that was once so prominent in your life. That is a really sad feeling, actually.
You like grieve it a little bit.
You do grieve it. Especially if there were huge moments in your life and just like, things that you trudged through life together, and then you look 2 years later and you barely know them, or at least you feel like you don't know them. That's sad.
Yeah. Which it's like, it's just a part of life. Like, I feel like I've talked to so many people where they're like, oh, this person was in my wedding and now we don't even ever talk.
Oh,
like,
that's true.
But what makes me sad is like, they're like, I wish I could change that. But I'm like, no, like that person was super special then and always is special. It just, you're maybe not as close as you were. Like, friendships change and they ebb and flow, but I think it is sweet that we've stayed close and
how do you remain a good friend as life ebbs and flows and you're in different stages of friendship?
I was gonna say like consistency is key, but I feel like I'm the worst at being consistent sometimes in a friendship, so I can't even say that. I think just caring for one another and supporting one another, like you said, is so big. Like, because we're in different stages of life right now, like I feel like I had a baby and you were there for me through a lot of that. You came and visited me, and everybody has their different love languages, but trying to figure out like what works best to stay connected. I don't know.
No, I agree. And you said the supporting in the different phases of life, and because you're 2 years older than me, it's always been like a you do one thing and then like I'm coming up right after you, and like that's how we've kind of been. But what has been helpful for me on the other side of things is that you've never made me feel like, oh, I've been there, done that.
Catch up or
like you've never been like, we're not in the same phase of life, get out of here. But you've also never been like, I got married 3 years ago. It's great that you're getting married and all, but like I've been there, done that. You've let me experience things for myself as a special moment, and you've never made me feel like I've already done that. Like, so I think friendships can die that way. Is like, oh, I'm no longer in my new mom era. Like, you're a new mom, that's sweet, love that for you. But I'm in a different phase of life.
Which can be really tempting to do, but I think it's really important to appreciate and celebrate each person where they're at.
No, I completely agree. And something that's also hard is celebrating someone's part of life that you wish you were at. And it's especially hard, of course, in like the marriage context and the baby context. So let's talk a little bit about that. There's people who are in friendships that they want what that other person has. Or maybe you don't even want it, but you just, I don't know.
Well, society tells you what
exactly.
you want, and if somebody else is doing it, then it's sometimes like, oh.
Like maybe I do want that. Like, do you want it because you want it or because someone else has it? That's a different conversation. But anyway, what would you say to someone who is in what they would call a dry season, like in a valley, but they have friends who are where they want to be?
I feel like it's encouraging just to celebrate like little wins. I know that sounds kind of corny, but
that's a good point.
I feel like if we're just always waiting for something big, like a marriage or a baby or a new job, like sometimes you're waiting a long time, or like that stuff may never come. Like, as much as you may want something, it may never come. So I think celebrating like the little victories is like really important, and like getting your friends to like support you in those things too, I think is really big. So that's something I know I've been trying to work on, is like celebrate my little victories, but really try to celebrate my friends' small victories as well, because I think that's really important too.
No, I agree. I would say that reshaping my wins versus your wins, like mentally, helps in times like that. And I think that's also an indication of if a friendship is a true friendship or not. Are you jealous when your friend wins? Or are you happy for them? Because I felt like you having a baby was like me having a baby. In that I would give everything I could to support that, because if it's important to you, it's important to me. And if we can reshape our thinking, not that I'm never like envious, or not that I'm ever like, I wish I exactly. But if you reshape it and think of your friends as like your wins as well, I think that would help. It's so much easier said than done. Honestly, especially I think with a baby situation, that's got to be tough. And I want you to touch on that a little bit because I didn't have friends who were having babies.
Mm-hmm.
And you were my first friend
Yeah.
to have a baby.
A lot of our friends were having kids, and they were like, just because we have kids doesn't mean you have to have kids. Like, they kind of like said that. And I was like, but you guys you're such amazing parents, and they're so cute. Like, it does make me want to have one. But it was nice that they like kind of took that pressure off. Like, oh, we can't be friends with you if you don't have a kid.
Right.
Which I feel like a lot of like.
Ooh, that's a really good point. Actually.
Yeah. Just because it is like it's easier to relate to like a mom who's like maybe going through the same things as you, but also shouldn't mean you can't be friends with somebody. Right. Like, I totally try to live that out, but it can be easier said than done.
What do you say let me get a little tea right here. What do you say if someone says to you, like, hey, we're just not in the same phase of life. I love you as a person, but just I don't think our friendship, like, you're not a mom.
Yeah.
I just don't see our friendship working out right now. Maybe in the future when you catch up to me.
Yeah, that doesn't sit well with me.
I know, that's why it's tea. So what do you say to someone who feels like they can't be friends when they're not in the same phase of life?
Yeah, I would say, like, so you don't like me for me, you like me because I have something that you have.
Oh, wait, that's actually a really good point. Your friendship should be deeper rooted than your phase of life.
Yeah. I totally think that friendships can be started based on phases of life.
Good point.
Just like you connect on certain things, but I think it goes deeper than that for sure. Right. So I would be like,
that's a good point.
Wait, but I'm more than my phase of life.
Right.
I'm gonna grow out of this phase of life, and I want you to be a part of my life.
We won't always be in the same place. Yeah. So that's definitely like a friendship test.
Something you get. Sometimes people just get stuck in that. So I think
just drop them. Just drop them. That's the short answer. Okay, so I have a question for you.
Okay.
I touched on this a little bit before, but having high maintenance versus low maintenance friendships is like a hot topic right now. So first, let me ask you, do you think you're a high maintenance friend or a low maintenance friend?
I want to say low, but now I'm like a little nervous.
How do you think people would describe you?
I feel like I'm a low maintenance friend, but I also can be a little needy sometimes. Like, I want to make sure that we're still friends, that we're like connecting, and that we want to spend time together, because I think that's important marks of a friendship. But overall, I think I'm a sort of a low maintenance friend.
By the way, there is no right or wrong. Like, some people just are or aren't.
Yeah, but there's definitely, I feel like I have both. I can be both. Like, I think even within our friendship, I'm like, I think I can be low maintenance, or maybe we don't talk that much. And then other times I'm like, Destinee, why aren't you picking up? Pick up right now.
I will categorize you as a low maintenance friend.
Okay. I was sorry.
And maybe we should define high maintenance and low maintenance in case there's anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, and then we can continue the conversation. I feel like high maintenance and low maintenance gets mischaracterized.
Yeah, sometimes they can get a bad rap.
Right. Like, both, I think, can get bad.
Yeah.
For me, a high maintenance friend is just someone who wants to have a lot of touches.
Yeah.
Whether that be in person, over the phone, whatever that is. Mm-hmm. And then a low maintenance friend is just someone who you don't need to talk to constantly to know that the friendship exists.
Yeah. But neither in a bad way.
Right. I mean, I would say that I think I'm a low maintenance person, but I reach out to people often. Yeah. In case they're high maintenance. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, and so then someone who's low maintenance might think, oh, Destinee's high maintenance. Yeah. But it's just because I'm trying to make sure they know that I care about them, you know?
Which is thoughtful.
Like, I just don't want anybody to feel like I don't care about them, but I do also I'm going to say, just be honest, I get very irritated with high maintenance friendships. I can't. Like, I think sometimes there's a lack of understanding. Yeah. And that's what is bothersome.
Yeah, not a boundary per se, but like...
Yes. Like...
You've got a lot going on. There's...
Yeah. And I get, like,
there's not enough hours in the day sometimes.
None. And I get it.
A good wife, a good friend...
employee,
keep track of your
right?
house, exercise.
We're
There's
also
so many
daughters.
things.
Yes,
Yeah.
exercise. Like, just, and then
And I'm
have
trying
a
not to be
second
on
to
my phone
yourself.
all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Spare your mental health. Screen time is popping up every 2 minutes. I maxed out my screen time. Like, yeah, let me compose myself. Obviously, I'm passionate about this. There are some times where I would appreciate more understanding.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
And I do think sometimes when people don't have kids, that other high maintenance friends are like, well, you don't have kids. Why are you so busy?
Yeah.
I mean, my job is basically my baby.
Yeah.
But also, this might be another hot take. I feel like there's a certain level of respect that I give to my marriage, or that I strive to give to my marriage, that maybe not everybody agrees with or wants to do in their relationship. Mm-hmm. But there is a boundary that I have to put up. Yeah. Because it's been trampled over before by work, by whatever.
To protect that space.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so, I may reserve 2 hours of my evening for my husband, mm-hmm. which other people may not get that, but like, I'm not going out to happy hour. No. I'm going to stay at home. You know what I'm saying? So that's my little spiel on what high maintenance versus low maintenance. Okay, but I totally get that. Yeah, sometimes it's like not enough hours in the day, but then people say, well, you're not making this a priority. And it's like, well, it's hard to make everything priority. Right. So what do you do? Like, say you have a high maintenance friend mm-hmm. who just love them to death, but they're trying to talk every day. And what's funny is that, like, I say that, but then, like, you and I talk every day. It's just different. I'm sorry. And I'm not shading any of my friends specifically. Like, but if you do feel conviction, it's you. Okay. What do you do when you have a high maintenance friend who is like, you're not valuing the friendship? We don't talk or see each other often. Yeah. Like, what do you do in that situation? I think you have to give it to him straight, because if you don't, then it's just gonna bite you later in your friendship. So I think just like asking for grace and like letting them know you've got a lot going on, and like, yeah, I think it's totally fair to try to prioritize your marriage or other things that you're passionate about or working towards, and just telling them, like, I'm not ignoring you, like, I'm not going out of my way to not talk to you or anything. Like, I do love you, I do care for you, but this is really important in my life right now, and I would love your support, I would love your kindness, I would love your grace, and putting something on the calendar that you're actually going to show up to. Ooh, That's my struggle. That's my struggle. Oh. One of my coworkers always calls me a flake, and I'm like, I literally, because I flaked one time. And if he listens to this, he's gonna laugh. But I really, really try not to be a flake, because it's so easy to say, yeah, I'll be there, and then you don't show up. So I think making commitments to your friends, especially if it's busy and it's hard to not see them, that you're actually gonna show up to, I think is really, really important. I will echo that. Yeah. I'll say... But I also understand when stuff comes up. Yes. And I'm the CEO if stuff came up. Like, honestly, I'm someone who I think overstretches myself. Yeah, it's really easy to. Yeah, just because I watched I listened to a podcast about people pleasing. Mm-hmm. And before that, I was like, I'm not a people pleaser. Like, I do what Destinee wants to do. I'm not a people pleaser. Then listening to the podcast, she talked about different kinds of people pleasers. Mm-hmm. And that sometimes I mask it to myself to make me think that it is what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm doing what I want to do, but really it is me overextending for other people. Yeah. And I realized that I need to learn to say no to things. Yeah. And to protect other things. Yeah. And I mean, it's hard because I'm just like in the middle of that. I think like 6 months into really pressing the no button. Okay. How's it going? Long story short, my journey to say no is still in the works, but there are some things that I have to, shuffle around, prioritize, and your true friends will understand that. That is like the actual bottom line. Yeah. Is your true friends will fully understand that. And I think it's like fair to say maybe they don't understand it at first, but you gotta give space for people to come around. That is very valid. I think that a lot of times people pass really hard judgment
pass really hard judgment at first, but I think we all like are figuring out the level of things we can commit to do in our life, and it changes week to week. So I think
exactly
giving people the grace to come around or like support you, sometimes it takes people a little bit of time, but we don't always like to give that to people.
Right. And this is
sorry, I don't always like to give that.
No, when the we is I try to remember something I've been working on a lot is grace. I try to remember that this is everybody's first time on earth. Like, I really try to remember, as crazy as that seems, like, this is literally everybody's first time living this day and trying to figure this out.
That's true.
So, not that it excuses everything, but it reminds me to extend grace a little bit more. So, I'll just say, be honest with your friends.
Yeah.
Be open with them about what you can and can't extend yourself to.
Yeah.
And try to give a little. But if everyone gives a little, we can pour back into each other.
Long ways.
Period. All right, so let's wrap this up, and we just want to see how well we know each other, and just play a little game. How well we know or don't know each other, we should say. All right, shoot some random ones.
Rapid fire. Winter or summer?
Summer.
Yeah. Ding ding ding.
Wait. Me? Winter or summer?
If in Florida, winter.
Okay, very good one.
Quiet or loud?
Dang, what mode are you in? Julia 10 years ago, loud. No, sorry, in the most respectful way. But I think now you like a little bit of peace and quiet.
Yeah, I have shifted extroverted to introverted a little bit more.
Yeah, I do think so.
My husband's rubbing off on me. I'm gonna say you're loud. My daughter is here, and Destinee laughs.
No, it's true. I am loud,
but in a good way. It's tasteful.
No, you're lying. You're lying. Okay, next.
Pub sub or Chick-fil-A? Not everybody knows pub subs. Probably.
Oh, yes.
It's a Florida staple.
I would say no, that's easy. Chick-fil-A for you. Yeah, right. That's easy for you.
You too?
Yeah. Come on, we need something hard.
How many tattoos do I have?
1, 2. 1. You have 1.
Just one.
Yeah. Wait. Just 1. Okay. How many do I have?
2.
Okay.
Unless there's a secret one I don't know about.
2.
My height.
6'1".
We're not going to the weight next.
Is it 6'1"?
Yeah.
My height. The only reason I know your height is because I've like seen your stats so many times.
My stats.
Yeah, just like that's kind of weird. Your stats because
like,
volleyball.
So
it's just easy to know like that's like your biggest stat is your height. Like I know that.
Yeah.
For me, you can guess, but I don't even know.
I want to say 5'7" or 5'8". 5'6"? 5'7".
No, I was happy that you were giving me 5'8". I'm 5'5.25", but I'm gonna say 5'6". Yeah.
Wow, I thought you were taller.
I'll take it. All right, let's.
You got any other ones?
I just want to end by asking like what friendship means to you.
Friendship is a really special bond, but I also think it's a safe place.
That's good.
A safe place to go to. I think there's certain people you reach for when you're in a time of need, or you have exciting news you want to share, or you just need somebody to talk to, and I think those friends are really important. So I think community and friendship are just so important. You can't do this life alone. And finding the people you can agree, you can disagree, you can have each other's backs, and you can support and love one another, I think is so important. So that's kind of why I was excited to talk about friendship today. What about you?
Love it. Oh, that was so sweet. I completely agree that friendship is a safe space. And friendship to me means freedom. To never question who you are or like how you act in front of anybody. Like that's the best feeling is like I can look however, I can act however. Right.
Still love me.
Right. I can just be myself. I could be anyone I wanted to be. And like you would still love me. And that's the ultimate meaning of friendship to me is just like how free it feels. So
yeah, that's great. Yeah,
I'm
that's really
so glad that this is where we started. We would love to maybe get some suggestions on what you guys want to hear from us, so that we can continue to have not so small talks with you guys.
Yeah.
Right. We love you guys. Thank you for sharing our first episode with us. And here's to many more.
Let's do it. Thanks. Bye.